Week 3 is here, Mafia. Let's discuss our upcoming game with the Washington Commanders. Buffalo is heading to the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. to take on the Commanders, who are 2-0. Let's waste no time and dive right into some problem players. Problem player number 1 I have is Terry McLaurin, the wide receiver out of Ohio State. McLaurin is one of the best wide receivers in the game, without a doubt. He's put up great numbers with terrible quarterbacks throughout his career. Has he finally got a guy in Sam Howell? We'll have to wait and see on that front. He only has 85 yards through the first 2 games, 7 receptions, so it's not the numbers you expect out of McLaurin. Hopefully that doesn't change this week and he doesn't go off. But a guy that good is only going to struggle for so long before he has a big game. Just have to hope it isn't this week. With Washington potentially missing some weapons for this game, you could see an uptick in volume for Terry McLaurin. Fantasy managers will love it. Commanders fans will love that. Bills fans, not so much, unless he's on your fantasy team and the Bills still win. You want to see this guy contained. Like I've said so far with Garrett Wilson and Davante Adams, these wide receivers have the potential to take over a game, but if you can neutralize their mid-average quarterback, you neutralize the wide receiver, and I think the Bills should be able to do that. Now we're moving on to our second problem player, and it's not actually a player, but it's a group of players. I have the Commanders' defensive line. Commanders have so many solid players on their defensive line. Montez Sweat, Chase Young, Jonathan Allen, very, very talented, and I'm probably missing a few names too. They currently lead the NFL in sacks through 2 weeks, and the Bills' offensive line is going to have their hands full. Spencer Brown held his own pretty well last week, surprisingly to many Bills fans. Contained Max Crosby. Crosby didn't really have an effect on the game at all. There was a couple plays where Brown got beat flat out, but for the most part, he was solid, and going up against Chase Young or Montez Sweat, he's going to need some help again this week. The Bills used a lot of chip blocks with Knox and Kincaid to throw Max Crosby off and help out Brown, which I imagine you're going to see a lot of this week as well. Chase Young is healthy too, and he finally looks like that pass rusher, that one defensive rookie of the year, the pass rusher that we all thought he was going to be coming out of college. Buffalo might actually struggle this week offensively due to how strong this defensive line is. The O-line has to come prepared. Allen has to be ready to play patient again, get the ball out quick. Pressure's going to be in his face all game if he doesn't. And we saw what happened when pressure is in his face and Allen's just being careless with the football. Week 1, compare it to week 2. 2 completely different versions of Josh Allen. We need week 2 Josh Allen going forward. There are no pushovers this week. I really like the Commanders roster. I think they're pretty solid. I think Howell is pretty good too. There's not much to complain about. It's going to be a great game. So let's dive right into offensive expectations for the Bills. If we're purely going off the eye test, I really like Buffalo's potential this week offensively, solely based off the offenses that the Commanders have gone against so far. I think the Bills match up better with the Raiders last week compared to the Commanders defense, just because the Commanders have better talent. And when you're playing a better team with more pressure in your face with against a team like the Commanders, Allen's going to have a game. He really has to take what's given to him. I don't know if you can trust Josh Allen to do that consistently. He hasn't been able to do it in his career. He hasn't been consistent. We need consistent Josh Allen. We need it. We need it. I think the entire city of Buffalo and all of Western New York and every Bills fan everywhere is going to lose their mind if Josh Allen starts playing like he did in week 1. No hero ball. Make good plays. Be smart with the football. That's all we ask. The Commanders have a pretty solid pass and run defense, so it's not going to be as easy as everyone thinks. I don't think everyone is taking the Commanders as seriously as we should. Commanders have a good team. I've said that already. I'll say it again. Every team in the league is there for a reason. All the players are there for the reason. Yes, some guys are more talented than others, but it's a week-to-week league. It truly is. Like, the least perfect world. In the absolute worst case scenario for anybody, if Josh Allen played all 17 games, the Bills mathematically, but very impossibly, could lose all 17 games. It's like it's a week-to-week league. Anything can change. There's variables. Things might happen throughout the game that make it in the Commanders' favor, Buffalo's favor. Just have to wait to see how it plays out. Now let's talk some Buffalo Bills defensive expectations. This defense is going to get their lunch money stolen, straight up. I don't have much faith in them at all. I really like the Commanders' scheme, Eric Bieniemy. I totally said that wrong, and I'm so sorry. Now, I don't think the Commanders have more offensive talent than Buffalo or even the Chiefs, but that scheme is just so good. It's so effective. It's crafted so well. If you've seen some of the plays, specifically screenplays, Buffalo can't defend that for the life of them. Commanders run a lot of that, and that scares me, and it should scare you too. This is what I call the potential for one of the what the hell is the defense doing games for Buffalo that we kind of seem to get once or twice a year. Hopefully that's not the case, but I got one of those gut feelings that it's just like, all right, like, just win the game. That's all I ask. Now moving on, we're going to talk some injuries real quick. There's no injuries for Buffalo. They're healthy and they're ready to go. Commanders, however, will be without former Buffalo Bill and tight end Logan Thomas for this game, with safety Cam Curl and wide receiver Curtis Samuel being questionable for this game. Listen, everybody, Buffalo is not heading into an easy game. This is not going to be easy. The Commanders are 2-0, and although I think it might be a little bit of a fluky 2-0, that doesn't matter. It's a week-to-week league. Anybody can win any game, and as long as they come out with a win, that's all that matters, because a win is a win. I do have Buffalo winning a very close game, 25-24. A lot of great defense, some big offensive plays. Not too high scoring, gonna be a great game. Not too high scoring, not too low scoring. Just if you bought tickets to this game, you're excited. It's gonna be a great one. And with that, that is it for this video, Bills Mafia. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like, and in the comments down below, let me know your score prediction for this game. How are you feeling going into this matchup with the Commanders? Are you scared? Nervous? Not at all? Let me know. On your way out, please subscribe. It really helps out the channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. You know, we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so if you're new here, I would appreciate it if you could help the rest of us get there. And that's all I got. Go Bills, baby. Let's go.